Hi there. We've just finished the coolest city to visit in each state series, and I'm kind of taking a break for today, but not really because I'm still doing a video. But I didn't have anything quite lined up for production today, so I'm just going to talk to you and probably open a box. While we were working on the coolest state series, we got to thinking about some of those cities and counties, towns and counties out in the Texas Panhandle where my fella is from. We were doing some other research and we kept coming across this reference book. So I looked for it on Amazon, and I guess the full set is like a multi-volume set, but I did find one single volume by itself. So let's see what it looks like and what kind of information it has. Here's my Amazon box. It's heavier than I anticipated. Handy dandy pocket knife. There she goes. Got that good strapping tape on there. All right. This is called the Portable Handbook of Texas, and it's a pretty thick one, and it's quite heavy, I can tell you. So let's open it up and see what's inside. I'll tell you what, some other books that I'm interested in. There's a series called Roadside Geology. Describes geology alongside the road. There are editions of several different states of roadside geology. That's interesting to me. Also, someone in Oklahoma published Ghost Towns of Oklahoma. And it tells the story of current day ghost towns and when they were thriving and why they failed. There are many ghost towns in Oklahoma, certainly, and probably in every other state, that the only trace of them left is either a sign next to a railroad track or a cemetery. Perhaps we can go over some of those books later. But today we have Portable Handbook of Texas. And I think one of the things that brought us to this was that we were talking about towns in the Panhandle that used to be going concerns that are now ghost towns. I remember as a kid watching westerns on TV, and whenever they'd talk about a ghost town, it would be a completely abandoned little ramshackle town. That is sometimes the case with some ghost towns, but sometimes it also is that they've just failed to thrive. Not much left, maybe one or two people left. You know, maybe they had a thriving business area, they might have had a downtown, they might have had stores and banks and a post office, and they don't anymore, but maybe they still have a person or two living there. I remember as a kid growing up going with grandmother to Strong City where they had spent many years. I thought, is this a ghost town? Except that there were people living there. They weren't all ghosts yet. Strong City. It was clear that it had been more than it was at the time that I went to see it. Yes, in this book that's as thick as an old school phone book, it talks about antebellum Texas, architecture, and the Great Depression, the 20s, not necessarily in that order, and it seems to be listed fairly alphabetically. Austin, Texas, that was on our list of cool cities. This book has not only places in it, but also people and things, like barbed wire. It's set out like a dictionary or an encyclopedia. Barbed wire made practical the agricultural development of the West by providing an effective means of enclosing cattle so they could not destroy crops. The first and most successful of hundreds of barbed wires was patented by Illinoisan Joseph Glidden in 1874. Glidden sold his interests to Washburn and Moen, a Massachusetts wire manufacturer, in 1876. John Warren Gates effectively promoted the Glidden wire at a demonstration in San Antonio in 1878, reportedly with the claim that the wire was light as air, stronger than whiskey, and cheap as dirt. You got a marketing genius on your hands there. Panhandle rancher Charles Goodnight foresaw the end of the open range and fenced his lands. The process was not without conflict, however, for it brought the fence-cutting wars of the 1880s. Barbed wire is still a staple of the ranching industry. Papers of the Texas Barbed Wire Collectors Association are housed at the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum in Canyon. And it just goes through here alphabetically, tells you stuff. It'll be interesting to read through here and find out things I didn't know before. And I'll tell you about some of them too. But we won't make a series of the whole book because it is a big fat book. There's a lot of stuff in here. Don Blocker, son of a gun, TV actor Bobby Don Blocker, DeKalb, 10 December 1928 to 13 May 1972. Tells who his parents were and where he went to church. He was 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighed over 275 pounds, played football in college where he became interested in acting. Dan Blocker, from the Bonanza series, TV series Bonanza, if you ever watch any of those lovely old shows from the 60s. Bonanza. Hoss was the name of his character there. Well, this is an interesting book. It's got lots of cool stuff in there, and it will be fun to read through and learn about. Okay, well, I'm just prattling on now. I think I'm going to wrap this up and get it posted. Thanks for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time.